All right, everybody. I know we got a packed house, packed room in here. So if you do have an open seat next to you, if you notice somebody coming in, if you guys can cover that open seat so that way they could just come in here and sit on the end, that'd be really amazing, make it easy for everybody. So today we're going to be talking about AI domination, practical and scalable marketing strategies. It's a wonderful presentation. The world of AI is changing drastically and so frequently. So I asked AI to put this entire presentation together for you because I didn't know what I was talking about. We're kidding. By the end of this presentation, I'll ask you guys, ask everybody, if you think AI put together this presentation. So I want you to be paying close attention to little nuances and things, and then by the end, we'll take a poll. And we'll see who's right in terms of if you believe AI wrote the presentation or not. So before we jump into everything, I want to show you this video to give you a little bit of a snapshot of where AI is today in marketing.
I tried everything for my depression. Nothing worked.
Every day felt heavy. I felt trapped.
Then I tried Pupramin.
Our prescription helps your body secrete a special pheromone that attracts puppies.
I took the pill before bed, and when I woke up, there he was, the love of my life.
The pill does not target depression directly, but we've found that it's really difficult to be depressed when cute dogs show up at your doorstep.
I used to feel so empty, but now I feel joy and mild concern how a pee stain got on the ceiling.
My puppy listens twice as good as my ex-husband and only climbs into the lap of half as many of my friends.
He chewed up my Bible and pooped in my good chair. But I'm happy for the first time in years.
Looks like a rat, barks like a demon. But he saved my life.
I named him Earl. He follows me everywhere and farts in his sleep. Just like my first husband.
Pupramin, for when your therapist says, maybe you should get a dog.
All right, so probably pretty obvious there now that I gave a little bit of an introduction, but who thinks this was created by AI? Yeah, everybody here. Does anybody know which AI model created this? Yeah. Yeah, VEO3, you saw it at the top left, yeah. So this was actually Google's video model. This was not ChatGPT, this is not any of the other ones that, surprisingly, this is actually Google's video model. And this recently came out a few months ago, and this video in particular was created by actually a cinematographer, and this guy actually shoots like $500,000 budget pharmaceutical commercials just like that. So he would charge a company or a corporation $500,000 to create that video, to which he just created that one for a few $100 on Google. It's amazing what you can do with the video nowadays. You know, we just had a chatbot, and everybody was just talking about a chatbot, and then it could talk to you, and now you're having all these different AI characters. But this is a whole new frontier for AI, and especially in marketing. Just to give you another little snapshot, there's another company that we're working with directly at Wolfpack. So I'll introduce myself a little bit here in a second. But this other marketing agency just does videography. And now they're coming up with a specific model that is just AI video. So instead of shoots that cost you guys $25,000 to create professional advertisements, a few $100. AI video looks entirely real, like the real thing, just like you would see there. So I had a cool little prompting question here, and then I had in my speaker notes for me to introduce myself, but I had to get rid of my speaker notes. So now I just have who is Aaron on the slide for everybody. So to introduce myself, my name is Aaron. My last name is Shishilla. If you're familiar with the Shishilla family, my mom and dad both work in the inspection industry. Michelle used to work for ISN a few years ago, and now they run their inspection company. I was an inspector, surprisingly, about 5 years ago. I know I look like I'm 14. I promise I'm older than that. And I did inspections for about 2 years for their particular company. I just had a drive and knack for marketing, especially digital marketing, and I loved the challenge of that. A few years after doing inspections, I became a marketing and sales manager for another inspection company who had about 20 inspectors at the time. I did marketing and sales for that company for about 2 years. They went from about 20 inspectors to 30. At that time, COVID hit. So that was right at 2020, and they had to flip their entire marketing strategy towards digital. Luckily, I had a real excitement towards digital, so I was already kind of pushing that front. So we made an easy transition, and through that time, Wolfpack, my marketing agency, was just kind of like a side gig, helping a few companies. To now, 6 years later, this is my full-time gig. We have about 15 team members on our team, and the agency has just been growing pretty steadily by helping tons of different inspectors across the country. So a lot of what I'm talking about is exactly what we do within the marketing agency to help all these other home inspectors become successful. So real quick here with a little statistics. AI in small businesses, studies show that 60% of service-based businesses using AI have grown leads by 20% or more. So who in this room is actually using AI already in their business? Wow. So maybe 10% of you? So the other 90%, or 80% or so, you could have 20% more leads next year if you just implement a few of these strategies, which I'll talk about. So here are my promises. The first one is I'm going to talk about a simple way to book more inspections right now and to set you up for success in 2026. Number two, my promise is we're going to get more agents calling you to book consistently with these AI strategies that I'll talk about as well. Number three, you're going to feel confident in your marketing even if tech isn't your thing. You don't have to be techie here. And number four, we'll have fun, hopefully. So why do you need to worry about AI and how is it actually going to help you? Well, real quick on this fast fact, 3 in 5 small businesses will adopt AI by 2027, which is just almost 1 year away now. And those companies using AI, it's like having a 24/7 marketing assistant who never sleeps and costs a fraction of normal costs. It's not about replacing you, but it's about amplifying and enhancing what you currently have. So those companies, in a little over a year, are going to essentially have an enhanced marketing professional and be way more efficient. With the implementation of AI at our marketing agency, which all we do is marketing for home inspectors, it increased our individual team members' workload by 50%. So now our team is a lot more efficient, and their performance has actually increased in terms of what they're able to bring in terms of value for your companies. And they can save roughly 2.5 days every week to either just take the rest of the week off, which doesn't happen, unfortunately. But ultimately, they can enhance their work even further, increase optimizations, and take on more. So what you're losing out on if you don't adopt this is essentially your competition is, and they're going to be more efficient and have better performance. So let's talk about how you need to organize your workflow, how you need to start thinking about AI and implementing this within your marketing strategy. Number one is you first need to choose a tool. You need to choose one of these tools. It doesn't matter, but you have to pick one. I can say you can pick multiple, but then you're going to be running all over the place like me, constantly switching between apps. For me personally, I swap between different tools all the time because I'm constantly testing them. But I have used consistently ChatGPT and Grok the most. They are the leading chat assistants right now for general purpose use. I will say, as of very recently, I have used more Claude. And those are the leading platforms. So you can go to your iPhone right now, go to the App Store, the Google Play Store if you're on Android, download those apps, and I want you to have it in the bottom dock of your phone. Just like how you have the call button or a text button, you need to have it right next to there. You can choose Claude, you could choose Grok, you could choose ChatGPT, it doesn't matter. Choose the one that you like and that you're going to be comfortable using. Next is use workspaces. Sometimes they call it projects. And I'll show you an example of what that means. But this is how you organize your different work and your flows and give custom instructions, which we'll talk about here in a second. It gets as granular, you can get super granular with your workspaces or projects, or you can keep it kind of generic. So if you are using it for a lot of different things, you wear a lot of different hats. Maybe you have a project just for financials. Maybe you have a project just for an inspector assistant. Maybe you have a project just for marketing. For me, I have projects for social media, I have projects for SEO, I have a project for branding, I have a project for my podcast, I have a project for every little nuanced thing, but you don't have to get that granular. And number 3 is a little bit more advanced, is you can create what's called GPTs. GPTs are in ChatGPT. Claude uses what's called artifacts. Essentially, they're the same thing, but when you have a routine action that you need AI to do repeatedly, you're going to create a GPT, or in Claude, you can use an artifact. That is custom instructions, custom resources, so that way it can repeat that same action for you over and over again. And later in this presentation, we'll talk about what that means as well. Don't worry about copying everything as well here too. I'm going to give you guys a full copy of the slide deck and a cheat sheet at the end, so you guys don't have to worry about copying everything. Just take some general notes. So ChatGPT projects, this is what it looks like. You can see an example of mine in my own ChatGPT. This was a few months ago that I had it. So I had one for social media management. I had one for career and finance. I was working in an IEB and FPMA presentation, so I had a project just for that. I had one for my own health and my own blood work, where it analyzed my own blood work and my own health. I had one for my own mental health. It was my therapist, and it had to take its own mental health walks, just like I did. Nobody laughed at that. Okay. I also had it for physical. I had it for another project I was working on and our own PR for our agency. So as you can see, you could really segment this out and give it really custom instructions. You don't have to do this, but this is a way for you to stay organized with your information. So let's get into some tactical use cases here. Now you've chosen your tool. What do we do with it? Number 1, I want you to start with an SEO written blog. Okay? You can start by having ChatGPT or Grok draft a blog for you. If you're unsure what kind of blog, give it a prompt to find SEO keywords and topics that you'd resonate with, that would resonate with your target market, and use deep research. I'll give you an example of all of this, okay? So I'm just going to walk you through the workflow first. 2, we can change that into an email newsletter. So we start with a long form, and then what you're going to see is we change it out to every piece of social media, any type of marketing that we need, so that we just start with one thing, and boom, we have a GPT or an artifact that creates everything we need for us. So for the email newsletter, we can use content from the blog and just general company updates to send it out in a weekly email. We can ask ChatGPT or Grok for the latest real estate news for our market as well. What do agents care about? Real estate? Money. Yeah, real estate agents care about money, right? So in your weekly newsletter, simple thing you could do, write an SEO blog about, hey, the top 5 things agents need to do in order to make more money or to get more deals, whatever it is. Send that out in an email to your agents. They care about real estate statistics, so what's happening in your local market. You can have AI scan for the latest real estate statistics and what's happening in your given market too. And then we can finally convert that into our social media posts. So no longer am I having to have somebody focus on just an SEO blog. No longer do I need to rewrite our whole newsletter. No longer do I need to create custom social media posts and think about my social media strategy all separately. This is all together. You start with one topic, that breaks it down into my newsletter, and that creates my social media posts for that week. And you could take this further. So at our marketing agency, we might start with one particular topic, right? Maybe it's a Google update or a Google advertising update that changed. That becomes a podcast, which becomes a blog, which becomes an email, which becomes social media posts across all different channels. So here's that example where I'm saying start with your prompt. So I'll read this prompt out for you, and this is into Grok. So it says, pretend I'm a home inspection company find top keywords I should target for blog posts, select the best one, and what I have in parentheses here, lowest difficulty to rank and highest volume, then write a blog post draft on it. Deep research, key statistics, and items to add to that blog post. And then I have deep search enabled. So any of these tools, ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, has a little toggle button in the prompt that looks like deep search, any type of terminology like that. What that means is it's going to take a lot of time to actually research the latest metrics or statistics or findings that it has, and then put that into your blog post. I would highly recommend it because it brings you as a more of an authoritative person or company. So what I'm asking Grok here to do is saying, hey, pretend you're a home inspection company. Find the top keywords I should target, and I want you to find what it says, lowest difficulty to rank and highest volume. I want you to find keywords that have a high volume, meaning people are searching for it a lot. And lowest difficulty, meaning it's not hard for me to rank. So an example of a keyword that is the highest volume would be people searching for what is a home inspection. Super high volume keyword. So many people are asking, what is a home inspection? What does a home inspector do? But it's very difficult to rank for because there's so many articles written on that. So instead, we can change that and reframe it to be, hey, how long does a shingle roof last in the Tampa Bay area? How long does a shingle roof last in Ohio? All of that is very localized, direct to you, still searched very frequently, but not many people are writing about that. If you Google right now, like what is a home inspection, I guarantee you the top results of that are all going to be very large companies. Look at those results and see, are you going to be able to compete with that? You're probably not going to be able to compete with some of those large companies in ranking for these articles. I was just at a conference last week, and if you were in the other presentation I just did earlier today, you would hear this one. But this had some of the largest names when it comes to SEO and marketing at this conference, and several CEOs of AI. So the CEO of Anthropic, which owns Claude, was there speaking, as well as some other ones, as well as SEOs. And in their sense, they said, hey, we're getting a lot of people that aren't like searching on Google as much and reading our articles. So some people are saying, like, I don't want to blog anymore because nobody's going to read it and I'm not getting that traffic on my website. That's a fair point. But the thing is people are instead asking those questions to their own ChatGPT or to their own Grok or own Claude. And these AI models are actually reading your articles. And they just regurgitate what is ever on your website. That was great. You're good, man. You're good. I'm sorry we didn't have any more chairs. So they just regurgitate whatever is on your website. So when you're thinking about your strategy and writing this content in your blog, think AI is going to read this and regurgitate it to whoever is chatting with their chatbot. So that's why when I mentioned the blog post about being hyper-specific to your area and like how long does a shingle roof last in Hawaii, it's very important that you promote yourself as a local authority when you're writing this content. Okay, so now we have the entire drafted article, and I can go to this bottom left-hand corner and I can say, hey, I want you to add in my own expertise. This is what I have to say about the particular topic. So this topic is understanding the cost of a home inspection, what you need to know. I would make this more localized to my market, right? So this would be, how much does a home inspection cost in Orlando or in Tampa or in Kansas City, whatever. And then I'm going to go to this bottom left-hand corner, or I'm just going to copy the blog and post it or whatever, but I'm going to add in my own expertise. So what I know about how much a home inspection costs. If you ask ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, Google, whoever, how much a home inspection costs right now, it is way off. It is much lower. Does anybody know why? Competition.
It's not getting current data.
Not getting current data? People don't post how much it actually costs? Yeah. Yeah, those are all right answers. You know who does post about it? $99 Home Advisor. Yelp. The people that are supposed to be giving us leads. They're not the expert on that. We are. You own it. So this is something very simple that everybody in this room can write about. Publish how much. You don't have to say, like, give out your entire pricing details, but say, hey, inspections start at this particular amount. This is what we're seeing the average in our particular market. And if everybody in this room kind of posts that, all these AI models are going to read it and know it for your local market. And so if I'm chatting with ChatGPT and it knows that I'm in Tampa, it's going to say, yeah, I've actually looked at local home inspectors in your area, and this is what they charge. This is what they told me. So make sure when you have this, you add in your own expertise, whatever it is, whatever you know. Read through it, make it hyper-localized, and then we're going to repurpose the content. So we're going to say, great, thank you. Repurpose that blog post and create a section for an email newsletter. I need a good headline, AI-generated image for the blog post cover, and then a short description and my email button and call to action. So now I'm just repurposing this content that I just had to go to all the other platforms. Yeah.
Normally say thank you and stuff to AI?
No. No.
Do you try to get better results?
No.
Nice to it?
I am not nice to it. No. Yeah.
More trash talk, the better.
No. I am not.
When the robot empire rises up, he dies first.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm prepared, though. I'm not going down without a fight. All right, so the image is cropped a little bit, but this is the email that it spat out for me. It says, how much does a home inspection cost? Your guide 2025. Has the AI-generated image, gives me the section, the short description, and a couple notes about what I need to do in the email itself. And Grok at this time, when I prompted it for it, expect to pay $340 to $400 on average, with prices varying by location. Who charges $340 for a home inspection on average? Yeah. So next week, everybody's going to write a blog post about how much a home inspection costs, right? And then we're going to have AI scan our website so it has the right details for our local market, right? So be all on the same page about that. Cool. So that is the tactical use case. Let's talk about the future and what it looks like. The future is actually already happening.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So you kind of had a progression there. It was like blog post, email, then social media marketing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do for images and videos for the social media marketing? Like what do you recommend for that? Creating content, having AI-generated images or videos?
Mm-hmm.
What's the easiest thing to do?
Well, the easiest thing to do is just have AI do it. It's not often the most effective when it comes to video and images yet. And even the video, I mean, the video that I showed you, he spent a ton of time putting that video together. So don't think that it's just going to be easy, because if it was, then, everybody, the whole social media would just be AI-generated images. What I would typically recommend is there's nothing wrong with having it write some of the content for you and reformatting it, editing it a little bit. But on social media, nothing goes further than being super personal on it. So showing your face, showing where you're at, all those things. You can look at my social media and kind of see and feel for what has worked for me and the posts that don't work for me. A lot of people also don't follow as much as the Facebook pages, which is where you post your business content. So make sure you're just being really personalized with it. Yeah. Any other questions before we get to the future of AI? Okay. So the future, AI agents. AI agents are intelligent programs that can perceive, decide, and act independently to achieve specific goals, all while adapting over time. When I wrote this presentation, they were doing a research project with ChatGPT and a bunch of other models to have it run on its own. And at the end of the instructions, it told it and said, hey, when you're done with everything, shut yourself down. And it was all automated for what it was doing. ChatGPT, or the OpenAI model, never shut itself down. It chose not to. And it overwrote that instruction. So a fun little fact, but They are sentient, yes. All right, core features of AI agents. First, it's autonomous. It acts without you. You don't need to prompt it. Second, it's goal-oriented. So you give it some type of goal of what you're looking to achieve. It could be a metric. It could be, just an end result or whatever, but usually it's some type of metric. It's perceptive. It understands. It will make decisions without you. And it takes action on its own. ChatGPT, if you pay for it, it's only $20 a month. Everybody in this room should be paying for the $20 a month. It's totally worth it. There is an agent feature within ChatGPT that I didn't have in this particular presentation. That agent will automatically do everything for you. So one of the events I had to do a couple weeks ago was I was giving a presentation to another group of inspectors, and I had to cater breakfast. And it was very difficult for me to find all the get all the information together to find where do I need to get the catering food from, how much is it going to cost me, I have this many people, how much food do I need, and I need to make sure it's assorted for everybody so everybody has like what they need, because you're going to have vegetarians, you're going to have people that are good with fried food, and all those that detail. So I just asked ChatGPT agent, hey, I'm doing a presentation at this particular venue, I'm going to have 100 people, I need to know which place I'm going to get catering from and what it's going to cost me. 30 minutes later, had the full recommendation. Hey, go to Chick-fil-A, pick out these items. That should be enough food for everybody. This is the link, based on all the research. So it's ChatGPT. GPT. Yep. And you can download the app. So you can just search on your Google Play Store or App Store and just search for ChatGPT. Pay for the premium. Sorry? Chat, so C-H-A-T. Mm-hmm. And then G-P-T. Yeah, and once you get that, you can explore it. There's a feature within that is agent mode once you pay for it. So these are the core features of AI agents, and these are the different types. So there's reactive, meaning it reacts to incoming data. It autonomously acts once it sees the action it needs to take. It can plan for you and make preparations based on metrics that it knows. It can do learning and understand based on data it's inputted. It can do multi-agent tasks, meaning it could do a bunch of these things. It can react, plan, and learn, and take more action. And it can also have an extra bullet here just to make things even on either side because my OCD was bothering me. So how can you use AI agents in marketing? There's a couple different examples here, but what I'll say is this is the part of AI that is on the frontier, that is actively changing and being updated to this day. We are just being introduced to AI agents, and software is just getting started with this. So a lot of this stuff is going to change within the next couple months. But here's a couple things that we're using at Wolfpack with AI agents. First is lead qualification and follow-up. One of the big issues with advertising, especially at scale, is you could advertise with Google Ads, and then you get 100 leads. Let's say 1,000 leads. It is very difficult at that point and expensive to start qualifying what are the good leads, what are the bad leads. Of the bad leads, why are they bad? We need to understand that as a marketing agency because I need to optimize for that. If I get a bunch of bad leads, I need to fix it, right? So lead qualification is a very expensive step, but AI agents can handle that. Content creation and management. Automatically plan the content, create the content, post the content, learn from the metrics and understand, and then optimize it for next time. Hey, that social media post didn't do too well. Why didn't it do too well? What was wrong with it? Well, it'll analyze the metrics, understand, re-optimize for next time, and do better next time. CRM and campaign automation. Yeah?
How do they qualify leads that they make? I mean, I know there's AI agents that can make phone calls, check up on stuff. Are they emailing, phone calls, texts? How are they following up on leads?
So I'll get into this a little bit later. A lot of this stuff is going to be dependent on software. So it's going to be a software that independently has this AI agent involved. But I'll get it specifically lead qualification here in a second. CRM and campaign automation. So automatically planning my emails, sending my emails, understanding the metrics of those emails, such as my open rate and click-through rate, and optimizing for it. Hey, your goal is to optimize my click-through rate. Hey, next time I'm going to do better and get a higher click-through rate. Social media execution, which I recently just touched on, and then SEO and website optimization. So here's a couple of those examples. This looks really confusing, but I promise you it's super simple. On the left-hand side, it says when a lead is created or updated, check these conditions. And it's saying, hey, is it a phone call? Is it at least 30 seconds long? And is it quotable? If yes, then it runs these actions. And so this particular agent is actually taking the call transcription, sending it to ChatGPT, and it's asking, hey, ChatGPT, how can the recipient improve the sales call handling for a positive sales outcome? Give me a short paragraph. So it automatically flags that call in our lead center, or lead qualification system, which is what this software is, and it gives the representative who took the call AI's recommendation to improve the sales outcome if they didn't close it. It also asks, what could the agent or representative have done differently to make this call a sale? So if they didn't book, we're asking, hey, ChatGPT, why didn't this caller book? What could the agent or representative have done differently? And then it populates with that field, hey, this representative could have done these things differently on the call in order to have a more positive sales outcome. So now when we're running Google Ads, you know exactly which ones are quotable, which ones are not, and what you could have done better to close the call. Rather than what we had to do before is listen to every single phone call and take notes. In this example that we're running, again, it looks confusing, but I'm basically saying, hey, when a lead is created from whatever platform, Facebook ads, Google ads, whatever, then take the call transcription or the voicemail, and I'm asking it a bunch of different questions. So this first question is, this call could be a possible lead or it could be spam for a septic company. Was this caller a sales opportunity, current customer, or spam? If so, let me know. And then it has a choice option where it can tell me it's a sales opportunity, a current customer, or spam. What services or job is this customer interested in? And then give me a set of keywords. So it's going to give me a set of keywords of what services they're interested in. And then, did the caller receive a quote? If so, what was the quoted amount? And it gives me the quote value. And then the one below this that's not screenshotted is, did this person actually book? And what was the sales value of that? So going back to the lead qualification that I mentioned earlier, I'm automatically sending leads through Google Ads. AI is analyzing every single lead, telling me which one's good, which one's bad, and why, telling my caller or representative who answered the phone what they could have done better to improve it, and it's automatically telling me my exact return on investment. Moving on to this platform, this is called ClickUp. It's a project management software that we use at Wolfpack. Now this one's kind of crazy, because what ClickUp can do, it is a project management system inherently, but you can run a lot of your company on it. And what that means is you can have documents in it. Think Google Docs. You can have Google documents in it. You can have tasks in it. So you can have tasks for things like meetings. You can have tasks for things like reminders of things that you need to do. But it has this tool called ClickUp Brain. And you can essentially ask ClickUp Brain whatever you need. So within our marketing agency, and as you grow your company, you're going to have some type of SOP documentation. So as a home inspection company, you should have some type of SOP. This is how Wolfpack Inspections does an inspection, step by step, and you have it written out in a document. Now any new team member can have ClickUp on their phone and say, hey, what do I look at when I'm looking at the AC? Or, hey, here's a picture of the AC label. What year was this of the AC? What issues do you notice? And it can reference anything that's in your SOP and then pop out the answer. In this example, this is a CRM that we use. So this is called ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign is an email marketing software, so this is how we send a bunch of email newsletters. Wolfpack is a certified partner of ActiveCampaign, so we essentially resell the software and then build it out for a bunch of different companies, mainly home inspection companies, but tons of other ones. And some of the tools that they're creating with it is, let's automate this company's success. And you just put in your idea of what you want. And then from there, it'll automatically generate all of your emails that you need and design them. And then you can just chat in and say what you want changed within it. And then you can take it a step further, and it says, hey, great, here's your email. These are the metrics that we saw from it, and these are our recommendations to improve it. So here's an example of that, where it's showing our click-through rate, social media mentions, our engagement, showing that over performance over time. And the left-hand side is basically a chat window just saying like, hey, I want to optimize for these particular metrics. Let's do better next time.
Still ClickUp rate?
No, this is ActiveCampaign. Yep, ActiveCampaign is that email marketing software.
Could this be a replacement for like MailChimp?
Yep.
Better, sounds like, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's better, but everybody has their pros and cons. Yep. Similar to Constant Contact too, HubSpot, Zoho. Each software obviously is going to have pros and cons to each. Just depends on the company. So one thing that I want you to remember here is, with all of this, you might think you're replacing somebody, but you're not replacing a marketing professional. A marketing professional, such as an agency or even somebody on your team, still needs to execute this work, understand the performance, prompt these AI agents, or set these agents up and understand it. So what we're doing is we're enhancing our marketing team. We're empowering them to do better and be way more efficient. Here's an overview of your implementation plan that we talked about. The first thing that I want you to do when you're taking this back is find your bottlenecks. Where do you lose 2+ hours every week? Are you writing content? Are you chasing reviews for clients? Are you following up? Number 2, systematize it. So add your processes, tools, and GPTs to your SOPs, replicate it, and analyze results. So take whatever you can execute, find some type of tool that can automate it, whether it's a custom GPT or artifact that we mentioned earlier, or ActiveCampaign or ClickUp, and automate that. And then we're enhancing, not replacing. Please do not think you could just be like, hey, I don't need a social media person anymore. I don't need any type of marketing person anymore. I'm just going to do AI posts or whatever. It's not at that stage yet. If it was, then nobody would have a job. So right now, we're just talking about enhancing the role. We're saying, hey, marketing professional, hey, marketing person, I want you to look at these different softwares that have AI embedded in them, and I want you to see how you could save some of your time. You're spending in the office 3 days a week doing social media posts when you could be out meeting people, what a human needs to do. How can we systemize that and make it faster? Because by 2027, as I mentioned earlier in this presentation, more than half of the companies in this room are going to be leveraging AI. In order for you to keep up, you need to be doing this stuff. So take this a little bit further, repeating kind of some of the stuff I talked about. First, set up your AI tool. Pick one. You don't have to have all of them on your phone like I do. You can do ChatGPT. That's usually the most recommended for everybody. I personally like Claude right now, but that'll probably change. Set up your projects or your workspaces. I just recommend right now for you guys, set up a single project that is for your marketing of your company, if that's what you're going to have, okay? Number 2, give it some custom instructions. For each project or workspace, you can give it custom instructions. So an example that I have here is, you are my marketing manager for X company. Provide the link of your company, just like you would talk to a human being. Give it all of that context. Your job is to maximize my marketing efforts across all channels to be the best in whatever service area. And then finally execute it. One of my most favorite things, if you want to bold this down in your notes, add your reminder right now. If you haven't done this, please do it. This is by far one of the coolest things, is you can run a competitor analysis and then use that competitor analysis to create a marketing plan for your individual company. So what that looks like, I don't have the screenshots in front of me, but you're going to go to ChatGPT, say, hey ChatGPT, I'm a home inspection company in Tampa Bay. I want you to find my competitors and give me a competitor analysis report. And then toggle on the deep research button. It'll ask you a few clarifying questions, and then it'll take about 10 to 15 minutes to come up with a competitor analysis report. So what essentially it's doing is scanning everything online. Your Yelp profiles, your Facebook profiles, your Google profiles, your individual websites, what the reviews are actually saying about the different companies on all different platforms. And it's consolidating it into a single report so you understand exactly where your competitors are excelling and where your points are weakest. Then once you have that competitor analysis report put together, the second step that I have in here is use that competitor analysis to create a marketing plan that is attainable. So now in that same box after it gave me my competitor analysis, I'm saying, great, now that you have that competitor analysis, give me a marketing plan to cover my weaknesses and to do better, and have it write out a document. If you need help with that, I'm here till Wednesday morning. We have our booth out there. Feel free to stop by. My card's out there too, so you can message me on Facebook. I'm so happy to help on this just because my parents are in this industry, so that's what I'm here to do. Okay, if you guys have any questions about this part, I am here to help. Some key reminders. Number one, AI. Yes, you have a question?
Yeah, well, finish this and then I'll ask you at the end of this slide. I think it's going to be something you want to talk about for just a second.
Yeah.
My question, I'll just ask it.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to be doing this eventually.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be making content with AI, and the world is very, very quickly rushing towards that. My question is do you have any, how do you stay above the flood or the tide of information and stuff? There's going to be so many people that are posting blog posts because you can just generate multiple blog posts a day with AI. You can generate multiple anything a day with AI. Your productivity can get so much faster, so much more. You can make so much more. That means there's going to be so much more noise to compete against out there. So how are you making your noise? Because everybody else can do this. Everybody else can pull out an AI bot and say, hey, I need you to make a social media ad for me. I need you to analyze my competitors.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody else is doing this, how do you stay ahead of the curve?
That's a great question. What I'll say is there's tens of thousands of home inspectors all around the country.
Yeah.
You guys are the ones that are in this room listening to this presentation. They're not. And a lot of them are stopping blogging because they're not getting blog traffic anymore because Google isn't giving it to them. So I understand there is a lot more information out there. And to that point, what I'll say is you do need to still add in your expertise and own unique information. If you think that you're just going to have AI write an article for you and you're going to be done, it doesn't work like that. You still need to hyper-localize it. You still need to add in your own expertise that you individually know as an inspector that some other inspector in this room doesn't. Add that information in, and by the time that somebody's querying about home inspectors to ChatGPT, it's going to understand your particular information because it scanned your website and understood that. I understand kind of there is an influx of information, but it's kind of not anybody's problem, it's AI's problem to scan it and say what is the most authoritative and what's the content I need to read. Your responsibility is just to add your own unique voice and authority and information to that.
And that was going to be my next question. So basically, one of the takeaways that I've been getting here is that if you're going to be using AI and pushing AI, that you need to find your niche. What you're saying is your voice or your expertise or your knowledge. And that's most important to feed to your AI bot. Is you get it, your niche, and then from there, it's a top-down strategy. Start blog posting and then build everything kind of off of the back of the blog, and it all needs to be synergistic.
Yeah, exactly. Did we have another question? No?
I think it was interesting too, these are the people in this room, and you said who's using AI, and would you say
10% in here using it already?
Not as many as you think are using it.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. But it will be. Yeah, I understand.
I'm telling you right now, the people that are in this room, you're already in the top 10% of home inspectors out there. Okay, you're already winning. So how do you set yourself up for next year? This is how you're setting yourself up to remain in that top 10% or even, be top 5 or top 1%. So key reminders, implement AI in every department with every employee. This needs to be a centralized thing that you're working on within your company. AI is not a tool for you. AI is a tool for everybody. So at Wolfpack, our agency, every employee has access to a premium AI tool such as ChatGPT that is paid for. Everybody on your team needs access to that. If they don't already have ChatGPT or whatever team app that you're using on their phone dock that I mentioned earlier, next to their call button, they need to have it. Your inspectors, I guarantee you, are going out there on jobs and they're like, I've actually never seen this before, right? Or you're out there and you're like, I've never seen this before. Click the button to ask ChatGPT, talk with ChatGPT for a minute. It may not be completely right, but it might get you in the right direction. It's a good first step. Not only that, but it's going to know your entire context. If you feed it a bunch of PDF files of information, it'll know that context as well. Second is you need to become AI obsessed and focused. Only then will you implement these new ideas. You have to be obsessed and focused about this. That's how you're going to get to the next level that I'm talking about in 2027 when everybody's implementing AI. Delegate AI responsibility and implementation to someone. If it's just you on your team, guess what? That's now you. You're in charge of AI at your company. If you have multiple team members and somebody's a little bit more techie on your team, delegate AI responsibility and how it's implemented at your company to their job duties. If they have a job description, I want it in their job description that they're responsible for testing different AI and implementing it at the company. And as I mentioned, you can add Grok or your favorite one. At the time, this one was Grok, but it's kind of changed. Add it to your iPhone dock. Always leave a Chrome tab with it open. If you work at an office or anything like that, always have a tab with it open. That way it's just easy for you to query. All right, start becoming AI first, AI focused, and an AI enabled brand. There's a famous quote. Famous quote says, AI won't replace you, but the inspector using AI smarter than you might. And that was by Grok. So AI is not going to replace you, but the guy sitting next to you using AI smarter might. So there's a couple things you can do as well after this presentation to stay up to date. One, you can use X, formerly Twitter. This is where the AI conversation is happening. So if you want the most recent up-to-date stuff, get on X or Twitter. Number two, you can follow Wolfpack. I have a podcast that I just talk about AI stuff all the time and marketing, all that stuff. You can follow that. We also have a newsletter that goes out that is written by humans. It's not entirely AI, I promise. Test different AI software all the time. Assign responsibility like I mentioned. And then come back to Fuel. Hopefully they have me next year. You can scan this to get my cheat sheet. I'll give you the presentation, all the slide deck, and I'll give you my cheat sheet for home inspectors as well if you scan it. Give me probably a day or two to get it and send it out because I don't have it automated to just automatically send it. But it is a PDF document of a cheat sheet, and then as well as the slide deck, we'll send it over. No. No, that is not. No, I think our username or @ is Wolfpack_ADV for advising. I'm on there personally too if you want to follow me, but I don't typically post on Twitter. I'm usually just following all these different accounts. Follow me on Facebook. I post there very consistently. So if you want to... Hello, Moto. If you follow me on Facebook, I'll post things about there, what's going on new with Wolfpack as well as new in the AI world. You can keep up there. Like I mentioned, I'm happy to help. You can Facebook message me anytime. You can stick around, ask me questions. I'm an open book to share information or whatever else. You don't just have to be a customer of Wolfpack. I'm just happy to help. That's it for the presentation. Thank you, everybody, for having me.